Good morning again, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to talk about a really specific piece of immigration ideology, the immigration argument, which is someone coming to your country from another country who wasn't necessarily born in this country. So there's some pretty obvious features to the argument. The dispute that is people saying, well, we have it good here because we are superior, we work hard, and people should have to earn access to our paradise, so to speak. Okay, well, never mind where you guys came from, most of you. Your grandparents and great grandparents arrived undocumented. This isn't about that. This is not about that. This is about something you might find surprising. Actually, it's not so much about how people are prejudged by being immigrants or people who are treated unfairly because they didn't originate in a particular place. It's about the opposite, where in this video it's about the opposite, where someone may actually not be legitimate just because they're an immigrant. Okay, so I don't mean to fly to either extreme, and that's what I want to cover here. Someone might be here illegally or be conducting illegal activity. And I don't mean to be anywhere near the camp that is prejudiced or rushes to judgment or is unilaterally unfair towards anybody in particular. But um, I am going to have to play the devil's advocate because there's a problem with people who arrive here from the north, unfortunately, who get an easier time with it. They get an easier time, and they weren't necessarily born here, and they bring their connections with them, and they bring their money with them, and they bring their business with them, and they bring their ideas with them and their practices. And okay, that's all great until it's patently, illegal or abusive to people and toxic to communities, which happens, unfortunately. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about people who very pointedly and specifically who are originating in the United States from Eastern Europe. Most of them, the vast majority of them, are fine. They're totally fine people, normal people, but they're white, most of them, and very attractive from the stock that they originate. And they are also, many of them, connected to organized crime. I hate to say it. It's true. There is a Russian mafia. Big surprise, maybe, to some people. Sarcasm, I'm sorry. There's a Russian mafia. There's also an American mafia. There's a Mexican mafia. There's an Asian mafia. There's pretty much every large country has its own organized crime network, unfortunately. And in some places, such as Russia, the Ukraine, surrounding countries, based on the little bit that I do know, I'm no expert, but they have deep roots, very deep roots, and powerful influence over politics and the people. And I don't just mean in a conventional, ordinary country kind of way. There's kind of always been, as far as I know, a puppet dictatorship in Russia. And I don't want to dive down that rabbit hole, but I also know that there are shadow influences in every country, especially in Eastern Europe. And it's very pronounced and prevalent in Eastern Europe. And there are powerful people. There are what we call revenue streams, rivers of money that is sometimes laundered, that is sometimes misappropriated. And I think that just because someone is white, successful, intelligent, and attractive doesn't mean that they're on the up and up. Here's your big point in my video. Doesn't mean that they belong anywhere in particular if they're a criminal. Doesn't mean they're helping out your community. Doesn't mean that they're not going to harm you and your kids. Doesn't mean any of that. And I don't mean to scrutinize every immigrant. I'm not calling for that. But sometimes these people get a very easy road to becoming residents in America and other places just because they present well. That's the message here. The message is, where's their money coming from? If they show up rich, maybe ask some questions. Where is all this money coming from? Because when they start spending that money, when people invest in their presence and allow their presence and give them an official place to build a reputation, to participate in society and culture here and the community, you're inviting that culture, their culture, to merge with yours. You're inviting those interests, those influences, and that actual monetary debt to take root in your community. So maybe I'm not saying be a busybody. It is a fine line you have to walk. It is. I'm not saying investigate beyond what is called for. There's something called probable cause, and there's also something called citizens arrest. And it used to be a thing where the average person was expected to have some level of awareness and role in judging people a little bit within reason. It's a big conversation. Try not to be naive. That's all. Reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.